public hearings today. The first is regarding a local law prohibiting the sale and possession of a synthetic drug known as Molly, and the latter two pertain to exemptions of the real property tax law 45 concerning the Fitzpatrick nuclear power plant. We'll start with proposed local law number 5. Please take notice that the county legislature of the county of Oswego will meet at the legislative chambers, 46 East Bridge Street, Oswego, New York, at 2:00 p.m. on the 11th day of July 2024 for the purpose of holding a public hearing on proposed local law number 5 of the year 2024 entitled "A Local Law Prohibiting Sale and Possession of a Synthetic Drug Commonly Known as Molly within the county of Oswego and imposing packaging and labeling requirements for same." By order of the county legislature, June 13, 2024, Betsy Sherman Saunders, clerk. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed local law number 5 of 2024, please step forward and state your name.
Mr. House. Chief Katie, you come forward, please.
Vice Chair Greco, thank you for allowing me this time to speak today on this important local law. My name is Phil Cady. I'm the chief of the Oswego Police Department, and I'm a lifelong resident of the area. For far too long, synthetic cathinones have wreaked havoc on our community, not just in Oswego, but Fulton and surrounding towns and communities. These cheap, legal substances known on the streets as Molly, Ollie, or simply bath salts are flooding our community from China by way of Syracuse and New York City. Many of the crimes we deal with daily, from shootings to drug cases to simple property crimes, are rooted in the use or sale of these dangerous products. It's time to give the men and women of local law enforcement a law that gives them the ability to combat the sale and use. Until now, we've been helpless to stem the tide of the substance while it's used and dealt with impunity. I'd like to thank District Attorney DiMartino, Chief ADA Manera, County Attorney Mitchell, and Legislator Twist for moving this important legislation forward. I also want to thank the entire legislature for their support and their willingness to do something for our community when the state government has failed to do the same. Thank you.
There being no other persons wishing to be heard, I request to declare this public hearing closed at 2:04. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice the county legislature of the county of Oswego will meet at the legislative chambers, 46 East Bridge Street, Oswego, New York, at 2:00 p.m. on the 11th day of July 2024 for the purpose of holding a public hearing on local law number 6 of the year 2024 entitled "A Local Law Granting an Exemption from General Ad Valorem Taxation, Special Ad Valorem Levies, and Special Assessments as provided for under Real Property Tax Law Section 485 and 490 regarding the James A. Fitzpatrick Clean Energy Center." By order of the Oswego County Legislature, dated June 13, 2024, Betsy Sherman Saunders, clerk. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed local law number 6 of 2024 concerning Fitzpatrick and granting exemptions therefore, please step forward and state your name.
Mr. Vice Chair, there are none.
There being no persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed local law number 6 of 2024, Mr. Chairman, I request to declare the public hearing closed at 2:06. Notice of public hearing. Take notice that the county legislature of the county of Oswego will meet at the legislative chambers, 46 East Bridge Street, Oswego, New York, at 2:00 p.m. on the 11th day of July 2024. The purpose of holding a public hearing relative to a proposed tax agreement under Real Property Tax Law Section 485 and 490 regarding the James A. Fitzpatrick Clean Energy Center, a nuclear-powered electric generating facility. By order of the Oswego County Legislature, dated June 13, 2024, Betsy Sherman Saunders, clerk. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding proposed local law number 7 of 2024, please step forward and state your name.
Mr. Vice Chair, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, that is not proposed local law number 7. This is a hearing on the agreement. Any persons wishing to be heard regarding the proposed tax agreement, please step forward and state your name. There being none, Mr. Chairman, I request to declare the public hearing closed at 2:07.
Okay, that being said, let's call the regular meeting of the Oswego County Legislature to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holst.
Here.
Roy Rehill.
Still here.
John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup's been marked excused. Marielle Chesbro.
Present.
Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Kevin Hill.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Charles Berger.
Here.
Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Schad.
Here.
Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson.
Here.
James Karasik.
I'm back.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castilla.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 present, 2 excused. Mr. Vice Chairman, you have the forum.
Can we all stand for the invitation?
Please help us look at the past with gratitude and the future with hope. Make us unafraid of our hopes and dreams and release us from skepticism. Teach us to accept the challenges that we are faced with and help us build a stronger tomorrow. May we always be sincere in our efforts to help others in need and have the wisdom to teach our children to love, to respect, and to be kind so that we may grow with a peace of mind. Amen.
Mr. Yurden, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I hope everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the June 13th meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an amendment to the minutes.
Get the motion first.
Make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second. Okay, we have a
I'll
motion
also
to amend.
ask the amend to HS 5 through 8 in the minutes reflect Mr. Scanlon's reading those. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay. Can we get a second on that then, I guess?
Second.
So, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Back to the original. Approve the, any further discussion or dissension on the minutes? Get a motion. Accept.
Motion accepted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have some proclamations. National Pretrial Probation Supervision Week. Can I get Mr. Conley and Public Safety Committee and Mr. Hall to come forward, please?
After.
Do the photo. Frank, can you move a little bit closer? Thank you. All right, we'll do it.
thought you needed more room.
So it is 3, 2, 1. And then again. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
National Pretrial Probation Supervision Week. Whereas Oswego County probation professionals play a critical role in the public safety and justice system. And where areas these highly trained professionals uphold the law with respect and dignity for all, promoting successful opportunities for individuals on supervision, pretrial release, and JD intake, and to protect our communities from criminal activity. And where areas the Oswego County Probation Department has approximately 700 people under some form of supervision. At any one time, we completed nearly 1,000 investigations in 2023. And where areas, Oswego County Legislature acknowledges probation employees for their hard work and dedication to such an important and demanding area of public service, and extend gratitude for their vital role in helping to keep our communities safe. And where areas, this legislation body also recognizes that individuals working with the probation department benefit from treatment, education, and other services that prevent recidivism, and enable them to rejoin their families and communities to lead a crime-free and successful life. And therefore, I, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby proclaim July 21st to the 27th, 2024 as National Pre-Trial and Probation Supervision Week.
I just want to say I want to thank my staff for all their hard work. It's a difficult job trying to keep the community safe, and on top of that, trying to help our clients make their lives better. So, like I said, it can be a difficult, sometimes dangerous job. So they do a great job. So, but thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Barasik in the Health Committee. The floor, please.
I think we have some guests from Arise.
There we go.
Isabel. If you don't mind, I'll sit this one out.
Perfect. Okay. Do 3, 2, 1. And then again, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Oswego County Legislature, Americans with Disability Awareness Day, July 26, 2024. Whereas the American with Disabilities Act, ADA, is a truly landmark piece of legislation. It guarantees access to employment, public accommodations, services, and telecommunications to persons with disabilities. And whereas Arise works with constituents, other advocacy and community groups to bring forth the promise of hope and freedom that is envisioned by the passage of the ADA. And whereas on July 26th, we celebrate the 34th anniversary of the ADA and recognize the enormous contributions of Arise for ensuring that the rights of individuals with disabilities are acknowledged and protected. And whereas the County of Oswego is proud to join with Arise, which works to ensure the rights of individuals with disabilities are protected through advocacy, education, information, and independent living skills training, and by reaffirming the dignity, independence, and self-worth of all individuals with disabilities. Now therefore I, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby designate July 26, 2024 as American with Disabilities Awareness Day, and urge all of Oswego County citizens to affirm the principles of equality and inclusion for persons with disabilities as set forth in the American with Disabilities Act. Every year I get a chance to share experiences. This year it's no different. I will clarify, this has nothing to do with my disability. This has to do with not paying attention to a foot infection. They got away from it. But I am a person that was born with disabilities. 70% of the people that work at Arise are people with disabilities. We get it. When people walk through the front doors and they're frustrated with the system, they don't know where to go, they don't know how to find housing, they don't know how they can go shopping in certain stores, have not taken the opportunity to make themselves accessible. Arise gets involved in their lives and tries to make people have an opportunity to live equally to everybody in this room. We'll tell you that there will be a big drive coming up in the near future. The employees of Arise are now identifying businesses that are not accessible, and that creates issues. It is a wake-up call for me for the last few weeks, because I'm in a wheelchair. Not permanently, but I'm here. And it's amazing how many things even I, who have been working there for 14 years, and just think that everybody's doing the right thing, and finding out that's not the case. A lot of things have changed in the county, and the county should be proud of this. The county building now has doors with push buttons on them. The health department now has doors with push buttons on them. There's been improvements in thresholds being made smoother. We do have some work to do on DSS. I guarantee you if I went out there, that would not be an easy transition in a chair for me to get in there. But the county has done a phenomenal job of recognizing these defects and getting them corrected, and lead by example for other local government and businesses to make things accessible for people with disabilities. You guys have anything to add?
Yeah, also this community and New York State was helpful in implementing for an employee that got stuck at a store because they were in a legal parking spot and somebody was illegally parked next to them. And there was nothing they could do. And they were told it was a private property, so there was nothing the law could do to move the people. And the people were just in there shopping, doing whatever they wanted to do. And this person had to wait for hours for a resolve with all their groceries melting and things going bad. And it was all because of somebody's disregard or disrespect for somebody with a disability who had a legal parking spot.
So for the people that have been around here a little longer, this legislative body owes yourself a round of applause, because if you remember right, we wrote resolution that went to NISEC. NISEC carried that resolution to the state 2 years ago. The state signed this resolution, which empowers any police agency in the state of New York to ticket people that should not be parked in disabled parking spots. The law used to read, if the community had a policing agency, they could ticket. If they did not have a policing agency, they did not have the right to ticket. That has changed in New York. If you park in one of those spots and you don't belong there, you can be ticketed by any law enforcement agency in this state. This body made that change. So thank you for doing that. That's it.
introduction of visitors. Mr. Klein.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the audience and fellow legislators, I'd like to sit there and just recognize today we have with us former legislator Jim Oldenburg. Jim, would you just stand up, please?
Mr. House, any speakers on resolutions of the day?
Mr. Vice Chair, there are none.
Thank you. Moving on to reports of county officials. Any reports of county officials? Any reports of standing committees? Any reports of special committees?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take just a moment for our Transportation Advisory Committee and to call out Heather Snow, our mobility manager, and with thanks to the Shinneman Foundation for running an outstanding transportation forum on June 24th with over 60 people there. We got a lot of input about how to improve the system, and it was an excellent event. Just wanted to thank Heather Snow for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, moving on to resolutions.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, there you go.
I would also like to bring attention to the fact that we had a department head have a letter, no, an article published in a state magazine for the New York State Association of Counties, naming it Oswego County has skills and the data to prove it. Great article, and it was great that one of our department heads had it published. Rachel Pierce.
Thank you.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
Let's not keep it a secret. Good job, Rachel. Okay, moving on to resolutions of the day. Any other comments? Okay, moving on to resolutions of the day. GC1 by Legislator Holst.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I'd like to move UC 1, 2, and 3, 5, and 6, and 8 as a block. For table resolution number 4, and resolution number 7.
Second. Okay, we got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
GC7 by Mr. Holston.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budget modification assigned council.
Yes, with assigned council, when we have $79,941 left in their budget. And whereas the state is responsible for $41.50 an hour increase, it's estimated that we'll need another $700,000 for legal fees for the rest of the year. The state is going to give us $175,000. We're going to have to transfer $525,000 unappropriated fund balance.
Any discussion? Mr. Castillo.
Vice Chair, I'm reading this over and I'd like to know the total cases required for legal representation in the county. The reason I'm asking this is we'd like to know what the percentage being handled by assigned counsel versus the percentage being handled by public defender's office, not including cases not deemed to be handled by the public defender's office, i.e. family court and such. Okay, right now, the public defender's office is at 70% of the projected budgeted manpower. And it states right in here that we set our fees because we thought there was going to be a decrease because of the public defender's office. And that hasn't happened yet. So I'm looking for some explanation as to what is the total number of cases they're being asked for a defender, and what the percentages are. At some point in time, I'd like that, information. If not this meeting, by, the next meeting or, somewhere in between. It has to increase, the public defender's office has to start increasing the taking of the cases. And that's countywide, not just in the city of Fulton or in the city of Oswego, but countywide. Thank you very much.
Mr. Church.
Yes, in fact, I received a report today from the public defender. As of today, total number of cases taken 2,288, 1,058 of those are currently open.
What does that pertain to for the total cases for the county?
I don't have the total number of cases. I have PD's total number. I just happen to have it, so I can get that.
Okay, thank you very much.
We'll look at that too.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Vice Chair, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Okay, moving on to Public Safety Committee. Mr. Conley, PS1.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as a block.
Get a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Castillo.
Mr. Vice Chair, with being appointed to a board, it seems the names of the appointed should be read and given the recognition they deserve, Mr. Vice Chair. I would like to have their names read.
Yes,
Yeah.
number 2,
We're on 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I thought you went to 1, all right. I thought you had passed that. All right, okay, yeah. Yeah, I second. Go ahead. Go ahead.
PS2,
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, we got to vote.
We got to vote on these. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Before you continue, I just want to read something on PS1 local law. Molly, this Oswego County local law will prohibit the sale and possession of all synthetic substances, synthetic drugs or substances that are artificially modified from a naturally occurring drug and aims to mimic the effects of an existing illicit drug, commonly known as Molly. The purpose of this local law is to criminalize the sale and/or possession of Molly. Local law number 5 of 2024 is necessary to protect the health and safety of Oswego County residents, and I urge all of my colleagues to adopt this resolution, which we just did, so thank you. All right, PS2 by Mr. Khan.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing members to the Fire Advisory Board.
The names are that for the city of Oswego, it's Mark Kubazinski, Battalion 1, Dave Okiniski, Craig Herman, Battalion 2 is Kurt Fisher, Bob Loomis, Battalion 3 is Russ Boughton, Todd Spink, Battalion 4, Francis Yurden, Frank Dixon, members at large, Eric Fedora, Kelly Hine, President Chiefs Association, Corey Douglas, President Firemen's Association, Matt Lenhart, Press Fire Police Association, Bob Whitehall, Chairperson FIT, Mike Monett, and EMS Coordinator will be Nathan DeGear.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Vice Chair, there's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Moving on to Human Services Committee. Each S1 by legislator Rito.
Mr. Chairman, I get to call you Mr. Chairman because you are chairing today, but you're doing a great job. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution approving Legends Field fee schedule.
This is fees for Legend Field. You should have the whole chart in front of you in your packet. The fees collected will offset the expenses and provide rent revenue for upgrades and just taking care of business at the field.
Any discussion? Mr. Castillo.
I'd like to amend HS1, remove any and all fees for any and all Oswego County youth groups for usage of Legends Field.
Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion on the proposed amendment? Mr. Castillo.
Mr. Vice Chair and fellow legislators, this legislative body has always pushed and been a big advocate of youth involvement and activities for the youth. You know, Camp Zerby, Camp Hollis, 4-H, environmental time, except that taxes are paid by their parents. Fees, costs are trickled down. Put a fee for them to use that field, even if it's just, you're going to say, well, the person supporting them is going to have to pay that fee. Well, that fee's got to trickle down to the members and their parents. It's county-owned and it should be funded facilities by tax dollars. Tax dollars are for the youth, not just to maintain roads and public safety. This is a chance for this legislative body to put its money where its mouth is. I've already talked with Mr. Brian Chetney, Executive Director, and explained to him what my feelings on this are, is that, and I've always been against any fees that are going to be added down to youth or their family with anything that has to do with the county-run facilities. So I'm asking this amendment, I'm asking for a roll call vote on that, on the amendment, and I'm asking for a roll call vote on the full resolution as it is.
Mr. Rio.
My suggestion is that most youth groups are organized into baseball teams or school events or things like that. It does cost us to maintain the fields. I appreciate your desire to help the youth, but if the person wants to join the league, there are often waivers of the fees for people without means to join those leagues without fees as well, just as we do at some of our camps, waive some of those fees for those with lesser means. So I don't think that we want to put any kind of a change in this fee schedule or amend it to allow the director of Youth Bureau to have the opportunity to change this. I think we should leave it just as it is.
Thank you. Mr. Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. With all due respect to Legislator Castillo, I can see his amendment means well, and I can even agree with why he would want to do that. But speaking as a parent with children in activities throughout the county, whether we waive these fees or not, the host of whatever the youth groups they will still charge the parent regardless. It's not like any organization is going to say, oh, we got that for free, we're not going to charge you. That will not happen. Because I've been on the opposite side of that, and I've seen it. It's not going to change the fact that we're still going to have to pay for whatever it is that the children do. As Legislator Rehab stated, we do have costs incurred, and these fees that we're looking for are not astronomical or out of line to help maintain some of the interests we have in that field. Thank you.
Mr. Kress.
Yeah, I think that, we put a tremendous amount of money through the ARPA program to completely rebuild the Legends fields. Anyone who has not had an opportunity to see those should drive by and look at it. It's an absolutely amazing area for young people. That comes with the cost. The maintenance, the upkeep. I understand they no sooner finish part of the project and somebody broke one of the gates. We're always going to have this ongoing piece of money we've got to put into this. I'm not even sure the fees over a period of years' time will take care of everything that we're going to have to do to maintain it. But I think it is a message to the teams to take some responsibility, pick up after themselves, keep the area clean, and be invested in it a little bit, because it's a great facility, and it's attracting people from outside of just Oswego County, which is something else that we need with our tourism.
Legislator Shaw.
I do know we've spent a fortune out there, and is the county now managing the entire field? Is it under our management? We own it and we manage it.
Right. Well, the Champions is the tournament manager. So we operate the fields, but the vendor Champions is the tournament, manages the tournaments that go on. But we own and manage and maintain the fields.
Do Champions get any of these fees
Not these.
for local? Only tournaments?
Only tournaments.
Who's insuring these groups?
They have to provide insurance, proof of insurance.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the amendment? Well, sorry.
I'd just like to point out that the schedule of fees is already a sliding scale, so out-of-county people pay more than in-county people. adult teams pay more than youth groups. And I think it's, whoever came up with that did a fabulous job.
Thank you. Mr. Castillo, something else?
Not just that, I've heard everybody's discussion on it. It still just comes back down to the fact that I'm looking just for Oswego County, not looking for the outside county's fees to be dropped. Okay, I'm just looking for people that are in a county, we pay taxes, we make sales tax, and I don't think that youth groups should be paying anything to use a county facility that is bought and paid for with tax dollars that their parents paid for. Still asking for a roll call vote on the amendment and also on the full
Understood. Thank you. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, so we will vote on the amended, meaning no fees for county youth. And you would like a roll call vote?
Michael Yurden.
No.
Herbert Yurden.
No.
Edward Gilson.
No.
David Holst.
No.
Roy Rehill.
No.
John Martino.
No.
Frank Lombardo.
No.
Paul House.
No.
James Weatherup's been marked excused. Mary Ellen Chesbro.
No.
Linda Lockwood. Richard Klein.
No.
Patrick Twist been marked excused. Stephen Walpole.
No.
Kevin Hill.
No.
James Scanlon.
No.
Charles Berger.
No.
Robert Wilmot.
No.
Marie Schad.
Yes.
Paul Conley.
No.
Noel Samuelson.
No.
James Karasik.
No.
Michael Soloway.
No.
Mark Greco.
No.
Frank Castillo.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, there's 2 in favor, 21 opposed, and 2 excused on the amendment.
Back to the original, approving the pay scale that we have in place. Like a roll call vote?
Michael Yurden.
Yes.
Herbert Yurden.
Yes.
Edward Gilson.
Yes.
David Holst.
Yes.
Roy Rehill.
Yes.
John Martino.
Yes.
Frank Lombardo.
Yes.
Paul House.
Yes.
James Weatherup's been marked excused. Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Yes.
Linda Lockwood.
Yes.
Richard Klein.
Affirmative.
Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole.
Yes.
Kevin Hill.
Yes.
James Scanlon.
Yes.
Charles Berger.
Yes.
Robert Wilmot.
Yes.
Marie Schad.
No.
Paul Conley.
Yes.
Noel Samuelson.
Yes.
James Karasik.
Yes.
Michael Soloway.
Yes.
Mark Greco.
Yes.
Frank Castillo.
No.
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 2 opposed, and 2 excused.
HS2, moving on, Mr. Rehill.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer HS2 to HS4 as well.
Motion. You get a second? Thank you. You get a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused, and rules of law.
Moving on to Economic Development Planning Committee, EP1 by Legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move as a block EP1 through EP7.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused, and rules of law.
All right, moving on to the Health Committee, Mr. Soloway, HE1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution appointing members to the Oswego County Traffic Safety Board.
This is doing just what it says to appoint these members: Margaret Beers, Diane Oldenburg, Brent Fosco, Robert Ramsey, Bruce Laporte, and David Hall to the Oswego County Traffic Safety Board for a 3-year staggered term.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
HE2 by Mr. Soloway.
Mr. Chairman, offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing acceptance of Article 6, Year 11 incentive funds and corresponding budget modification.
This is a budget modification to accept Year 11 Article 6 State Aid Incentive Award. The Oswego County Health Department has been awarded $24,599 for participating in the 2023 Performance Incentive Initiative. This program focuses on promoting wastewater surveillance.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
All right, moving on to Infrastructure, Facilities, and Technology Committee. IT1 by Mr. House.
I offer this resolution urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing the execution of an amended contract with Dyco Electric Inc. regarding change order concerning the batch mix plant rehabilitation project.
Okay, some of the parts from the old plant, when they got to them, they couldn't use from the existing plant, so they had to buy other parts, so that was $50,593. So the project had to expand $297,393.03.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
IT2 by Mr. House.
Urge this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste, to establish a capital project to install a radiation monitoring system at the Energy Recovery Facility from the solid waste unappropriated fund balance to the capital project.
Yeah, this is a radiation detection system offered by the DEC to the sum of $80,000.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
IT3 by Mr. House.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste, additional funds to replace the air compressors at the Energy Recovery Facility from the solid waste unappropriated fund balance to capital project number 0724.
Okay, we are replacing the 4 compressors, and the escalation in the price comes to another $80,000, so the total is $330 for those 4 compressors.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
IT4 by Mr. House.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budget modification, supplementing existing capital project to fund miscellaneous technology upgrades, and authorizing initiation of network upgrade project by the Department of Information and Technology.
Okay, so this is the technology. It comes to $1,350,000 for the upgrades.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
IT5 by Legislator House.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution establishing capital project number E0424, airport tractor with mower deck.
Okay, we had a malfunction with the tractor and the mower. They're well over their lifespan. One's an 82, the mower I believe was an 81. We have 450 acres out there to the airport we have to take care of, and the FFA recommends keeping the fields adjacent to the airfield at heights from 6 to 12 inches, so we need another tractor and mower.
Any discussion? Mr. Castillo.
Of that 450 acres, how much of it is runway?
I have the answer to that.
A realistic question.
Just, you know, just,
Go ahead.
I don't have that number.
Can you expect me to?
Go on Google Earth and look it up.
There you go.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance and Personnel Committee. FD1 by Legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing members to the Oswego County Safety Committee.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in accordance of Section 71 of New York State Workers' Compensation and 27D of the New York State Labor Law, these are annual positions that are assigned to this.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
FB2 by Legislator Walpole.
Mr. Chairman, the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Clerk, will you please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing execution of agreement with the County of Oswego CSEA Public Works Employees Unit.
After negotiations, as we're all well aware of, we have come to an agreement. Everyone seems to be able to live with it. And looking to have it approved.
Mr. Martino.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take a moment to thank our negotiation committee, Phil, Legislator Walpole, Legislator House, Julie Bell. Did I miss anybody, Phil?
Julie's assistant.
Casey from my office.
Casey, Julie, or Jessica? Jessica. They worked very hard on this, and it took a while for them to get there, but we finally got this done. And I wanted to thank everybody who was involved in the process of getting this done. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
FP3 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution amending resolution number 151 of 2024 regarding assigned council plan administrator civil service title.
Yes, this resolution is appointing Rachel Gageworth as mayor of the city of Oswego.
Any discussion? Mr. Church.
Yes, we, just a slight correction, this is not appointing Rachel, you did that last month. This is correcting the title per civil service rules.
Correct. Thank you.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Okay, FP4 septic replacement program. Oswego County is participating again in the New York State septic system replacement program. The county previously received $150,000 funding from the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. The Oswego County Economic Development and Planning Department has been awarded $100,000 in order to continue work with residents to replace septic systems along Lake Ontario. I urge all my colleagues to adopt this resolution. So on that note, FP4 by Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution recapturing certain ARPA funds, certain ARPA funds preview, no.
I'm sorry, FP4 is ARPA. I got this. Oh, that was EP4. My mistake. Please forgive me. Apologies.
I'm like, that's not what you
I
said.
misread. That's an E, not a B, something different. My apologies. So FP4.
We skipped it.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to amend this resolution. In the last whereas, I would like to remove then therefore, be it is hereby, and separate the paragraph and add now therefore upon recommendation of the Finance and Personnel Committee of this body.
Can we get a second? Thank you. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Okay, that's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Back to the original. All those, any discussion on the original?
As amended.
As amended. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Mr. House.
Motion to waive the rules for HS5 only.
Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? HS5, Legislator
That's me.
Redfield. I stole it off my.
Okay. It's tough being in that seat, but you're doing a good job.
Yes.
Before I offer you this five, I wanted to take a minute to, because we couldn't do it last month, acknowledge Stacey Albert's 7-year tenure as Commissioner of Social Services with this committee. I was on the search committee along with Marty Babcock, Steve Walpole, and Phil. Not sure if anybody else here was on that, I don't believe so. But not long into that interview, everyone knew in the room knew that she was the right person suited for the job. She had already served as Commissioner of Social Services in Lewis County, and she had done her research on the things that we were doing here on the Poverty Task Force and within a division, and she wanted to be a part of that experiment. It was an easy choice with very supportive leadership through the legislature. Though I'm certain that Stacy anticipated challenges no one could have imagined or prepared for the COVID-19 pandemic, nor the highly publicized death of George Brooks, the subsequent murder investigation and conviction. But she and Marty at her side soldiered on, committed to the mission. Stacy and Marty's steadfast service to Oswego County, her staff, clients, and our legislature was an effort that I think few, if any, could have mustered. And I greatly appreciate their strength of character, optimism, and thoughtfulness that it took to provide those services. They both did it with tenacity and grace that will be missed, because Marty has announced her retirement as well. And on behalf of myself, and I think I'm speaking for many fellow legislators, past and present, we thank Stacy and Marty, and we wish them both a blessed retirement. And now I offer HS 5.
Clerk, please read that.
Resolution appointing Commissioner of Social Services.
Just as it states, we have gone through an interview process, and we are resolved that Nora M. Sullivan of Oswego, New York, is hereby appointed Commissioner of Social Services for the County of Oswego, commencing July 28, 2024.
Any discussion? Legislator Shaw. Oh, that's the question. Anyone else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, there's 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 excused.
Will you please stand up? Any unfinished business? Any miscellaneous business?
Motion adjourned.
Second. Adjourned. Mr. House, are there any public comments?
Mr. Vice Chair, there are none.
Meeting's over. Right back.